Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm a travel advisor with Marvelous Mouse Travels, and also recently took over as the YouTube manager. And we are here tonight to reveal the first round results of our Marvelous Mouse Madness tournament. This is a tournament much like what you're seeing in the world of sports right now, except our topic just happens to be the very best Disney World resort hotel restaurant. And so we had several different matchups that people were able to vote on in our stories on Facebook and Instagram yesterday. And so we're excited to reveal those results to you tonight. And so to help me do that is my husband, Evan, who's going to hop on screen with me now. And he's going to handle kind of the technological aspect of mirroring his screen and showing us the bracket so that we can see who won all of these different matchups.
All righty. Well, let's just jump right into it. I almost showed you all of them at one time. Let me cover that up real quick. Good thing I looked at that before I shared my screen there.
Yeah, somewhat anticlimactic, probably.
Just a little bit. So I covered them up now, so we're good. Let's see. Is it going to share? Can you see it?
I cannot. I cannot see it at this point.
Well, let's try that again.
There we go.
There you go. Second time's happening now. Forget you third time. Second time is all it took for us. There you go.
That's right.
Second time's a charm. All right. So I'm going to zoom into this top left corner and we'll just go straight down the list like we did in the voting.
And I will say a couple of these were a little bit surprising to me. I think you guys are going to see that as we reveal it.
Yeah. There was a couple times when Ginger was telling me the results. I went, whoa. And I said, really? I was very surprised by some of them.
And before we jump into it as well, let me encourage you, if you're watching live, if you want to interact with us in the comments, let us know what you think about these matchups. Let us know if any of your favorite restaurants are not on this list, or if you have eaten at some of these places that are winning tonight and you want to tell us your favorite entree. We would love to hear all of that as well.
Oh, that's actually, I actually really do want to hear that. Yeah. That's a very good point. Please let us know. We like food. We want to eat the best things when we go to these places.
That's right.
That's a really good point. That's what I'm talking about, Ginger. Let's see. So Rick's Sports Bar and Grill at Coronado Springs going up against Boatwrights at Port Orange Riverside.
Yes.
And Boatwrights won, and it was not close. 75% to 25%. Not even close. Honestly kind of expected that.
Yeah, and Boatwrights is a cool restaurant. It has, it's seafood, obviously, but it also has like a ship in the middle of it. So it's themed really well as well, also.
Isn't it like hanging from the ceiling? Am I remembering that correctly?
Kind of, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've been in there, but yes, I'm pretty sure it was.
Hoop-de-Doo Review and Maya Grill. This was a total blowout. It wasn't even close. Hoop-de-Doo Review won 86% to 14%.
Yeah, I'm not super surprised by this one. Hoop-de-Doo, again, is a whole experience. It's a show, and it's a ton of fun. The food is really good. It's just a great evening of entertainment and dining as well. So it's kind of the whole package. And Hoop-de-Doo is over at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, whereas Maya Grill is also over at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort.
Chef Mickey's going up against G-Co, and Chef Mickey's won that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually not a runaway victory by any means, 65% to 35%. So Chef Mickey's probably the most iconic classic character meal. Moving on.
Yep. And that one is at the Contemporary versus G-Co, which is at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge.
So Captain Cook's, our first quick service restaurant on the menu so far.
There you go.
See what I did there? Yeah,
I do.
Going up against Cape May Cafe, which is in the Beach Club, and Captain Cook's is quick service in Polynesian. Cape May Cafe table service in the Beach Club. Character meal at breakfast.
Yes.
So you have a quick service. Oh, Bobby! Hey, welcome, Bobby Joe. She said, "I loved Hoop-de-Doo."
Yes, so much fun. I love it too. Definitely one of those things that you have to do at least once at Disney World, I think.
I'm glad to have Bobby Joe with us. Let's see here. So Captain Cook's Cape May Cafe. Captain Cook's won. It took down the character meal. A quick service took down a character meal.
I was really, really surprised by these results. And what was the percentages on this one, Evan?
So it was very close.
I remembered it being pretty close. Yeah,
Went
57.
to 43%. Super close.
Yes.
This was one that when Ginger said it, I went, really? Like, I was
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, that shocks me.
Yeah,
That
but
shocks me.
I will say though that if you don't love seafood, you're not probably going to love Cape May in the afternoon and evening. It's a great, character buffet, but it is a pretty standard character buffet. So, you're going to have Mickey mini waffles. One thing that they do have at breakfast that I think kind of sets Cape May apart is that they have a make your own omelet station. And that's pretty cool. But I think, compared to Captain Cook's has an incredibly varied menu for a quick service location, and the food is really good.
It is very good.
You can get lots of really interesting things there. So people love Captain Cook's, I think, for good reason.
I think I got a barbecue sandwich there one time.
I think you
I think
did.
that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, so if there was a quick service restaurant that could take it down, this one would be the one.
For sure.
I mean, it's very good. It is very good.
It is. And it's really it's a nice atmosphere in there too. It's sunny and bright and it's pleasant to eat there.
Nevertheless, it still shocked me.
I know. It was surprising.
So the last, well, actually, that's it for that region. Let's move down to the bottom region here. Sebastian's Bistro at Caribbean Beach Resort going up against Trattoria Al Forno at Disney's Boardwalk. So 2 Skyliner restaurants here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Trattoria Al Forno won. And it was kind of close too. It was 61% to 39%.
Yep. And, I love Trattoria Al Forno, so I'm not really surprised that this one won. But Sebastian's Bistro is also really good. So this is one of those matchups where I hated to see either one of them lose because I think both of them are great restaurants. I think we got a comment that came through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jenny, welcome, Jenny. Good to have you with us.
Yeah.
She said, I totally agree. Love Captain Cook's. It's good. I mean,
it is really good.
Very good.
My go-to there is the fried rice. I love the fried rice. It's really good. Our kids tend to get the flatbreads. Again, it's a very varied menu and it's not super expensive. A lot of the entrees are shareable. So it's a really good budget-friendly option as well.
And literally just on the other side of the wall is the original home of the Dole Whip. So
that's right.
I mean, you just walk literally right around the corner and
get the Dole
Whip. You are. Getting the Dole Whip at the OG Dole Whip place.
In fact, we carried our Dole Whip into Captain Cook's, I think, and sat there and ate it along with our meal. So that was pretty iconic as well.
Yep. Let's see. Ale and Compass going up against California Grill. Wow. Tough. I mean, such a good matchup. Honestly, wish that the blind draw had made this happen later on in the because I think both of these restaurants could have gone pretty deep into the tournament. But California Grill did pull this one out.
Yeah.
And it was 68% to 32%. So, I mean, fairly close.
Yeah. And California Grill is one of my favorite restaurants at Disney World. I love the food. I love the atmosphere. I love to watch the fireworks from there. But Ale and Compass is also a great one. So this is another one of those matchups that I wish that neither one of them had to lose. So I wish we could let it be a tie, but we can't.
Yeah. I mean, those are 2 really, really good spots.
Yeah.
Sure. This next one, probably one of the 2 most vastly different restaurant styles here.
For sure.
On this matchup. And this was actually a cool one that, the blind draw that we did to get set these 2 against each other. Cause I mean, these are totally different.
Completely different.
So Whispering Canyon, which is in the lobby of the Wilderness Lodge, going up against Citricos, which is like extremely nice.
At the Grand Floridian. Yeah.
Yeah. And Whispering Canyon won. Like, I was shocked when I was like, say what? Citricos is like top notch, baby. It is real stuff. And I guess people like the more laid back atmosphere of Whispering Canyon more than they do Citricos.
Well, let's remember the criteria that we gave people to vote on. We said, obviously, think about the food. Whispering Canyon has great food. We said to think about the overall experience and the atmosphere. Whispering Canyon is a ton of fun. It's very interactive. Your servers make you part of the experience. And it also, the lobby of Wilderness Lodge is beautiful. We told people to think about value. I think for the amount of food that you get for what you pay, Whispering Canyon is a really good value.
Yeah,
and we
that
also
definitely takes the cake on that part
for sure. And we also told people to think about location. And again, I mean, you're very close. You are a boat ride away from the Magic Kingdom. You're also a boat ride away from the other Magic Kingdom area resorts. If you want to hop around and do dinner at one, dessert at another, get a little snack later on at a different one, like you're in a really good location. So you look at all four of those criteria and you stack these two against each other. And I think Whispering Canyon is the winner. Personally, I think that
you won me over.
Yeah, fanciness doesn't always equate to it being a better experience.
You're exactly right. That's why you married me. You're exactly right. So I mean, value, that's close, I guess. I'll take this guy. So you're exactly right. I mean, I think that's a good point. So you got Whispering Canyon moving on. So who's it going to face? Because quite honestly, whoever it faces in the next round between Ohana and Steakhouse 71, good luck.
Yeah.
Because both of those are fantastic choices. Yeah. Oh, Bobby Joe liked that. She liked that.
Liked your analogy there.
Yeah, there you go. So Ohana going up against Steakhouse 71. Once again, I would have loved to have seen these two restaurants match up against each other later.
This would have been an amazing championship matchup, if we're honest.
Yeah. You're exactly right. And I think if these had not been paired up against each other in the first round, both of these could have made a very deep run into this tournament.
For sure.
But unfortunately, they got stacked up. The blind draw was cruel to Ohana and Steakhouse 71.
Well, fate is cruel sometimes.
That's exactly right. But Ohana did win it.
Yep.
And it was very close, 58% to 42%.
Yeah.
So it was not a runaway by any means, it was very close.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Jenny was excited. She was rooting for Ohana. She said, "Come on, Ohana."
You got it. You got it.
Got it. I will say though,
on.
I love, if you have not, Ohana is iconic for a reason. It is a wonderful atmosphere, great location. A lot of the boxes that we told you to think about, it checks them.
You can see Cinderella's castle while you sit and eat.
And if you can get a window seat during the fireworks, that's even better. Like, it really is a fantastic location. The food, is really good. Steakhouse 71, though, if you have not tried Steakhouse 71, give it a try, because it is so good. It's good for every meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. There's something there that is just delectable. I mean, it really, truly is one of my favorite restaurants. And it is, a newer addition to the Contemporary. It's taking the place of, I think, the Wave, if memory serves. But it's just such good food, and it's a great atmosphere as well. There's a lot of Disney nostalgia and memorabilia that's the part of the decor at that restaurant. So give it a try if you haven't tried it. But all that said, I'm not at all surprised that Ohana won. I fully expected that to happen. Everybody loves Ohana.
So as you look at this particular region here, these 8 restaurants: Sebastian's Bistro, Trattoria Al Forno, Ale and Compass, California Grill, Whispering Canyon, Citrico's, Ohana, and Steakhouse 71. This particular region, it is a shame that California Grill, Ohana, and Steakhouse 71 all ended up in the same region.
Yeah,
because if they had been in 3 separate regions, I would venture to guess that you were looking at 3 of your final 4 restaurants right there.
Yeah.
Instead, they're all in the same region, having to go up against each other immediately.
This region's stacked for sure. Like, there's
Absolutely.
no. I think this is the toughest region on the whole bracket.
I totally agree. Mary Alice, she's loving Ohana too. Welcome, Mary Alice. Good to have you with us. She is all about Ohana as well. She said, "I agreed. I love Steakhouse 71.
So good.
I mean, this is a very, very difficult region.
Mm-hmm.
And man, you wish those 3 had been placed separately, but hey,
it is what it
wheelofnames.com is a ruthless way to choose things, and it's taken over the bracket here.
That's right.
On the other side of the bracket, the other She agrees. It was ruthless. Absolutely. Absolutely. The other side of the bracket, beaches and green, beaches,
Oh,
beaches and green, beaches and cream. There we go.
I hope it's
I
not
combined-
green. There's something
Yeah, for
wrong.
real. So I think what I did was I started saying Grand Floridian Cafe, and I combined cream and grand into green.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beaches and cream going up against Grand Floridian Cafe. Really tough matchup for both, and this was the closest matchup that we had in the first round, and understandably so.
Yeah.
Beaches and cream barely. I mean, y'all, we're talking like a few votes. That's it. Was the only difference. 52% to 48%, and we're rounding there. So, like, it was very close.
It was. And I mean, understandably so. I struggled when I was voting to choose between these two. I think I voted Grand Floridian in the end because that is probably my one, I don't know, top two for sure. It flips back and forth between this and California Grill as to which is my actual favorite. But definitely it's up there for me. But I love Beaches and Cream too. And I think Beaches and Cream, part of the fun of that one is the atmosphere.
For sure.
You've got that kind of 50s soda shop vibe, and the experience when someone orders the kitchen sink and all the lights flash and they tell you everything that's in it, and everybody goes a whole can of whipped cream. You know, like it's an experience, kind of like Whispering Canyon, like we were talking about. So I'm not surprised, but I totally understand why they're so close because they're both great restaurants, really good food.
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody in the comments to say a whole can.
A whole can.
Yeah, that it's iconic. I mean, it is an iconic restaurant, and I get it. But both of those are fantastic, just fantastic places. Boma going up against Three Bridges. Ginger, why don't you remind everybody where Three Bridges is?
So Three Bridges is literally at the meeting point of the three bridges that cross the water that's in the center of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. So this is another Coronado Springs offering. Again, this is a great resort for food. And Three Bridges it's not quick service and it's not table service. It's kind of in between, almost like one of the lounges where you don't need a reservation. You just kind of walk up and you can order appetizers and different things like that. So it's open air. You can feel the breeze, you know, everything. It's really nice. So definitely awesome.
Bobby Joe said, thank you for that explanation. Yeah. See, hey, this is a great place, man. Like you know, you come on here and we're just having fun, and you know what? You learn something new every day. I learned that just hearing Ginger explain it as well. So you learn something new every day. It's a Marvelous Mouse Travels, man. We're bringing people together and we're educating. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Like
you're never too old to learn something. You're never too old to learn.
Eloise Litz, famous Chattanoogan in Tennessee, and she said, the day you stop learning is the day you start to die. So there you go.
There you go. And she lived to be like 100, right?
Exactly. Yes, she sure did. This got like philosophical real fast. Hey, man, that's a great show. So Three Bridges going up against Boma. This was actually the second closest matchup we had in the first round.
I'm not at all surprised. Both of these are great.
It surprised me. Boma won, but it was only 55% to 45%.
And I think maybe not a lot of people have, as many people have tried Three Bridges, because Three Bridges is not huge. Like, it is not a big location.
It's Danielle Elliott's favorite restaurant.
I think so. Yeah. She loves that one a lot. Boma is a buffet. And again, it's at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's a great reason to go and visit Animal Kingdom Lodge if you're not staying there, but you want to go over and check it out. Making a reservation at Boma is always a good choice because there's so many different things to choose from. Safe options, more adventurous options. So great for adults and kids. They have their zebra domes on the buffet, which is one of my favorite desserts at Disney World. It's like amaretto soaked sponge cake with like a shell of chocolate. It's crazy good. They're so good.
Jenny said Boma is my favorite buffet at Disney World.
It is so good. I love it. It's our son's favorite restaurant, like, period, at Disney World. He loves it.
That's exactly right. So Topolino's Terrace a character meal at breakfast
Hmm.
atop Disney's Riviera Resort, going up
Yes.
against Kona Cafe. Now, Ginger, can you remind everybody where Kona Cafe is?
Kona Cafe is at the Polynesian as well. It shares a kitchen with Ohana, and it's literally right next to it. So it's kind of the less expensive a la carte versus family style version of Ohana, obviously with some different offerings as well.
So Topolino's Terrace won.
Uh-huh.
And if you'll notice, strategically not saying the differential yet, because I want you to see Ginger just said Kona Cafe shares a kitchen with Ohana. Everybody loves Ohana. It's one of the fan favorites.
Mhm.
So you would think Kona Cafe would also be a fan favorite, and it is. People love this. I love that place. I had this like shrimp pasta thing there one time. Man, delectable. It was great. Topolino's beat at 73% to 27%.
It shows
I
you
mean,
how
like-
good Topolino's is.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Kona is great, but Topolino's is fabulous. I love Topolino's.
I think that of all the ones that we've seen thus far, and spoiler alert, the rest of the time too, I think this one reveals the most information about a particular restaurant.
Yeah, I agree. Topolino's is, it's got, well, I mean, if we go back to our 4 criteria, it's got fabulous food. Whether you're eating there at breakfast or dinner, it's delicious either way. I think if we're talking about the character breakfast in particular, there is not a better character breakfast in terms of the food quality anywhere at Disney World. I think it's absolutely the top. And I think that it checks that food box in terms of atmosphere. It's got beautiful views. You can see all 4 parks from Topolino's. It also, has, I think for the fact that you get to meet those characters, you get to have that great food. It's a good value because you're saving yourself time in the parks, not standing in lines to meet them. And time is money at Disney World. And also location. You are right there on the Skyliner. So if you're on your way to Hollywood Studios or Epcot, this is a great place to stop in and have breakfast. And Bobby Joe mentioned she loves the pastries. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. They bring you this adorable little paint bucket that's filled with all of these different types of pastries. I tried every single one of them. They're all delicious. They give you butter. They give you Nutella. And one other, I think like a strawberry jam that you can put your pastries on. So good at breakfast, but at dinner, honestly, even though there's no characters there, dinner is my favorite meal at Topolino's. Mary Alice
agreed.
Yeah. Mary Alice, the first time I ever had dinner at Topolino's, Mary Alice was with me. We were there for a media event where we got to go to the Star Cruiser, RIP Star Cruiser. I miss it dearly. But we got to go and eat at Topolino's. And that was the first time I had been there for dinner. And I had some pasta dish and it was amazing. But we ordered different appetizers. We tried a lot of things on the menu because it was our responsibility as travel professionals to know what everything tasted like. So we tried a lot of different things. They were all delicious. And I didn't have a single thing there that was bad.
Well, hang on. There's 2 things about this comment right here with Bobby Joe. Bobby Joe, first of all, that is top-notch emoji work. Well done, madam.
Yes.
Well done. That is excellent. However, Ginger, you mentioned that when they brought out the pastries, they were in a paint bucket.
Yes.
I think that needs to be explained so people don't think they're actually providing you food in paint.
No, it is a ceramic bucket that's themed to look like a paint bucket, but the theme of that character breakfast is breakfast a la art, and so all of the characters are dressed up like different types of artists. Daisy's a ballerina, Donald's a sculptor, Minnie's a poet, and Mickey is a painter, because art is a huge part of the Riviera Resort. There's a lot of original artwork in that resort. You can buy a lot of it and take it home with you. Many of those pieces are in the rooms, and you get to enjoy them there. You can also in the gift shop buy the little plushes that are dressed the way the characters are dressed at the meal. So that's why it's in what looks like a paint bucket. It's not an actual paint bucket by any stretch.
Bobby Joe said I'll have to try dinner, probably something to try over Labor Day.
I think that that's a fantastic idea, Bobby Joe. Definitely.
He might be there with Ginger and
might.
Mary Alice actually at that
Yeah,
time.
we'll all be there.
Mary Alice said the ricotta
Oh
appetizer
my
is
gosh.
fabulous.
That was probably my favorite thing we ate that night. It was so good.
So, like I said, this speaks. I mean, I'm being honest. It really speaks volumes for Topolino's, because no one is gonna turn their nose up to Kona Cafe. Like, that place is great. It's really good. This just shows you just how good Topolino's is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a very, very excellent option if you want to eat at Disney World. And once again, that's the beauty of this whole bracket and this whole tournament is Disney World resort restaurants. You don't even have to go to a park to experience any of the restaurants on this list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why people say you can go to Disney World and you don't have to go in a park and still have fun, because food is fun. Food is fun, and this is a lot of fun going to these different places and eating. So, last matchup in this region, Toledo against Olivia's Cafe. So Toledo is at the top of Grandestino Tower, also at Coronado Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So we have had 4 restaurants from Coronado Springs, which shows that it's an excellent moderate level resort to stay at.
Oh, yeah.
Contact any of the Marvelous Mouse Travels agents if you want to stay at any of these places, and they will be happy to help you arrange that. And their services are free.
That's right.
That's for real. I'm not even making it up. I'll explain later. So Toledo going up against Olivia's Cafe. Ginger, can you remind everybody where Olivia's is?
Olivia's is at Disney's Old Key West Resort, which is the original villa-style resort on property.
OG.
It is the OG, and it is in the Disney Springs area. So there's a boat that runs back and forth between Old Key West and Disney Springs.
So in this matchup, Toledo won, and it was pretty close. 59% to 49 or 41%. So anytime you get one that's in the 50s to 40s, that means it was really, really close.
Yeah, it was. And both of these are great restaurants. They have a completely different vibe. I think that Toledo is great for if you have a special occasion, like an anniversary or a birthday or something, or date night, and you want to go out and enjoy just a nice, really upscale feeling atmosphere. Toledo is a great option. Olivia's Cafe, I said when we were revealing the bracket, reminds me of that little mom and pop, locally owned restaurant at the town where you've been going to the beach since you were a child. It just gives me that kind of feel of,
I don't. A perfect analogy.
Yeah, like I don't feel like I'm at Disney World when I eat there. I feel like I'm in Key West. So it's very well themed, very immersive.
And Toledo, because you're at the top of the Grandestino Tower, just incredible views out of that place. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and even without the views, it's just a beautiful restaurant. It's so pretty.
The interior is very, very well decorated.
And the food.
Yeah. So 2 great choices there. As we move to the last region here, we got Turf Club and Narcoossee's. Now, everybody knows where Narcoossee's is, even if you don't think you do.
Yeah.
If you've ever looked over at the Grand Floridian across the water and you saw this big circular branch,
looks like a gazebo on the water, kind of.
Yeah, huge gazebo, a big circle. That's Narcoossee's. And so you saw it. If you've ever ridden the boat to Narcoossee's and you dock there and start walking towards the main building, you walked right past Narcoossee's. It is right there. So you have tremendous views, obviously Cinderella's Castle from there. But Ginger, remind everybody where Turf Club Bar and Grill is.
Turf Club is over at Disney Saratoga Springs Resort, which is another villa-style resort, all villas, and it's also in the Disney Springs area. So it's next door neighbors with Old Key West.
So super close to Disney Springs. You can actually walk to Disney Springs from there if you wanted to.
You could.
So Turf Club and Narcoossee's. Narcoossee's did win. It was a comfortable victory, not anything, outrageous, but it was a comfortable victory. 68%, 32%.
For sure. And, Narcoossee's they've redone the inside of that restaurant. They've redone their menu. And so I think people are kind of in the process of rediscovering what Narcoossee's is and what they offer, because it is a little bit different from what it used to be before. But Narcoossee's has, it's waterfront dining. I always love waterfront dining, but depending on where you sit, Turf Club can be as well. You could have a view of the Sascula River, which is the river that the boats go on to go back and forth to Disney Springs.
1900 Park Fair, which is coming back next month, baby.
So excited.
Yeah, it's coming back next month and located at the Grand Floridian, going up against the Pizza Window at the Boardwalk. The coolest little cutest pizza window boxes you ever seen in your life.
It's adorable.
Really cool. One of our favorite memories, eating at the Pizza Window, just sitting there at the tables overlooking the water at the boardwalk. The lights were on at night. The string lights was beautiful.
It was.
So 1900 Park Fair going up against the Pizza Window. 1900 Park Fair did win. People are excited about it returning, but it was pretty close. It wasn't real close, but it was fairly close. 64%, 36%. I get it. I understand totally.
Yeah, sure. It's a character meal versus a quick service. That was a tough matchup, to get to have as a random draw there. But, that little Pizza Window is great. And if you want something fast and easy and not that expensive, it's a great option for dinner. But I do love 1900 Park Fair. I have a soft spot for it because it's the first character meal Evan and I ever did together. We'd done other ones obviously when we were kids, but it was the first one that we ever did together. And so I have fond memories of it. Our kids, it was one of the first character meals we ever took them to. So lots of good memories for our family at 1900 Park Fair. A lot of people love it though for its strawberry soup, which is a cold, sweet soup, which sounds weird, but just don't knock it till you try it. It's really good. And they have a lot of other good things on their buffet as well. So I'm excited to see this one come back and see how it's changed. We definitely know the characters are going to be different, but I think that that's going to be a fun change.
So the next matchup was Yachtsman Steakhouse at the Yacht Club. It's a signature restaurant going up against the Boardwalk Deli.
Yeah.
Now, poor Boardwalk Deli.
Poor Boardwalk.
It had no chance in this. But shockingly, this was not the largest margin of victory.
Mm-hmm.
The largest margin of victory was Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, 86% over Maya Grill, 14%.
Yeah.
This was a little bit less than that. I thought it was going to be like 100-0 personally. I didn't think anybody would vote for Boardwalk. I guess some people felt sorry for Boardwalk and they're like, well, I'll throw it a bone and I'll vote.
Or they just really don't like steak,
Or that too. Yeah. That could be the case. Yeah. That's a good point. But Yachtsman did win. It was 83% to 17%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. This is not a surprise at all. You put a signature restaurant up against a quick service. It's a little bit lopsided.
Kind of an unfair thing. And so our last one, Sanaa at Animal Kingdom Lodge, going up against Storybook Dining at Artist Point. Man, battle of the Titans right here, baby. Battle of the Titans.
Such good restaurants, both of them.
Once again, the ruthless wheelofnames.com, when we spun it to get the winner or to randomly draw this, it had vengeance out for these two, I guess. Like, this is two really good options. It was close. It was 67% to 33%, and Storybook Dining did win.
Yeah.
67% to 33%.
That was my vote. I like that. I think it's both great. The bread service at Sanaa, the Savannah Views at Sanaa, it's fantastic. But Storybook Dining is great food. It's a really good character experience. It's in a beautiful resort. So all of those 4 criteria we told you to think about, I think it's the winner on all 4 of those.
So here's our Sweet 16. We're down to 16 restaurants now. Going up in the next matchups, we've got Boatwrights against Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. That's actually probably going to be a pretty good matchup.
I think so.
This one is going to be fascinating because if Captain Cook's took down Cape May Cafe, Chef Mickey's better watch its back. That's just another character meal. Captain Cook's is gunning for you, Chef Mickey. And then Trattoria Al Forno against California Grill, 2 very good places.
Yes.
Whispering Canyon going up against Ohana.
I think that'll be a blowout.
Canyon. Yeah. Beaches and Cream going up against Boma.
That could be interesting.
Wow. Yes, that's going to be the most fascinating one to watch because two totally different restaurants.
Yeah.
Food, the type of food, the style that it's
Mhm.
served in. I mean, totally
Real different.
Topolino's going up against Toledo.
Two top of the tower
Yeah.
restaurants against each other there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mhm.
I'm on top of the world. Hey. So two totally different places, both at the top of their respective resorts. Narcoossee's and 1900 Park Fair. So two Grand Floridian places going up against each other.
Yep. That will be very interesting.
And then Yachtsman Steakhouse and Storybook Dining. So real quick, Jen and I will go through these. Because we're voting. We're into this.
Yeah, we are.
So Boat Rights Hoop-de-Doo review. Who you got, Jen?
Oh, I got Hoop-de-Doo on that one. Got to go with the show element.
That's a tough one. I'm not sure. They give you a lot of food at Hoop-de-Doo review too, though. So
They do. And it's
I'll
barbecue.
go that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken.
It's hard to argue with barbecue.
Strawberry shortcake.
So we'll go Hoop-de-Doo with that one. Chef Mickey's and Captain Cook's.
I know what I'm picking. I'm picking Chef Mickey.
See, this, if it had been, now this is one thing that's interesting. So I like Chef Mickey's better when it wasn't a buffet.
I agree. When it was family style.
That food was phenomenal, man.
It was. And it's, I tend to prefer the family style character meals anyway, because you don't have to like balance being there for the character and going to get your food at the buffet. Nancy just made a comment about
Nancy.
it's that strawberry shortcake. Yes,
absolutely.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Welcome,
there's a
Nancy.
song
We're
about
glad
it,
you're with us.
if there's a song about it, it's good strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, you know it's got to be good if they've written.
Yeah. I mean,
if lyrics have been composed to express the love for it.
Then, if it's been commemorated in song for generations, it's probably pretty good.
That's a good point. So I'm going to go Chef Mickey's just because it is iconic.
Yeah.
But man, Captain Cook's is good too. Like that's a tough one. Trattoria Al Forno, the only character meal that hasn't returned yet.
Yeah.
Well, after next month when 1900 Park Fair returns.
Yep.
Going up against California Grill. Sorry, Trattoria. We love you. We've been there, done that. Got not the t-shirt, but the food. Yep. California Grill. I'm picking that all day, every day for that.
Same.
Whispering Canyon Ohana.
Ohana.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean that's an easy one. Beaches and Cream and Boma.
Yikes.
I don't know. I'm going to pick Beaches and Cream. I think our son would.
He would heartily disagree. Yeah, I think I would go with Beaches and Cream as well between those two, but I do love them both.
Topolino's and Toledo.
Topolino's.
Yeah, I agree. Seconded.
Yeah.
Narcoossee's and 1900 Park Fair. Very different places here, by the way.
I got to go with my heart. I got to go with 1900 on that one.
This is tough.
You go with your head or your heart?
Okay, first of all, here's the deal.
Head.
Narcoossee's, you're not going to beat the view. Like that's not even a contest.
It's true. There's no windows in 1900 Park Fair. That is my beef. That is my beef with it. There's no natural light.
However, if you're talking value, then 1900 Park Fair is better.
Because there's characters. Yeah.
And there's characters, like you said. Oh gosh, I don't know.
Sorry.
Oh man.
There's a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences between those two.
I don't know. That's going to take me a while to think about. I might end up with 1900 Park Fair on that one, but that's a tough one. And then this one's easy for me, even though it probably won't be easy for. I think honestly, it wouldn't shock me if Yachtsman beat Storybook Dining, but I know I'm picking Storybook Dining. What are you picking?
Oh, I got Storybook on that one for sure.
Didn't
even have to think about it.
I will say this every single time that this comes up on the bracket. The best meal I ever had in my life. No, the best meal I ever had at Disney World came from Storybook Dining. That entree was, I don't even remember what it's called. I just remember like angels sang when you ate it. It was amazing. It was so good.
It was
like some melt in your mouth, like pork thing. I don't even know. It was just, oh my goodness. It was so good. So that's why I'm picking Storybook Dining, because it is the best entree I've ever had anywhere in Disney World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Ginger, why don't we do this to wrap up? Why don't you tell us one more time the criteria as we vote for the Sweet 16, when people can vote, and when we will be revealing those results?
Yes. So food, first and foremost. overall atmosphere or experience. That includes any show elements, just the feel, the vibe of the restaurant, value, and then lastly, location. How easily accessible is it? So those are the 4 criteria. We will be voting on the Sweet 16 starting tomorrow, and that will take place in the stories of the Marvelous Mouse Travels Instagram and Facebook accounts. So if you're not following the agency on Facebook and Instagram, be sure to look for us, give us a follow so that you can go into the stories and you can vote. We will vote using the poll feature. And then the next time that we will go live will actually be on Thursday. And it will be Thursday at 7 p.m. Is that correct, Evan? We want to keep it consistent and do 7 each time. Yeah. So we will do 7 p.m. again on Thursday to reveal who's moving on to the Elite 8. But be sure to vote in the stories, and be sure as well, if you happen to be catching this when we're no longer live, if you still want to interact with us, ask questions, make comments, we do monitor these videos after the fact, and we'll be happy to come back and address any of those comments that you have. But thank you so much for those of you who have voted and who have participated in this. Thank you for those who watched us live and interacted with us in the comments. We really
that's
do.
The funnest part. Getting to interact with you guys in the comments.
For sure. That's the part that makes this fun and enjoyable. So we will be back to reveal the next round of results again on Thursday night at 7 p.m. But until then, we hope everyone stays well. Thank you so much for watching and have a great night.